At what point did you see the demographics change in Compton, where the white people started to leave?
It was called White Flight, 1969, 1970. We had the first, in 1973, we were the first black-run city west of the Mississippis. We had a black mayor, had a black police chief, had a black city council, and you cannot have a progressive city when they take the economics. So when white America did White Flight and went to Anaheim, went to Chino Hills, they took their money with them. So now they create a ghetto, right?
Yeah.
So it's just like I tell people, it's like, it's not about the game, it's knowing the rules of the game, right? Once you know the rules, I can't trick you, no, but if you don't know the rules, everything you do is a foul, huh? But when you knew better, you do better.
Right.
So we don't know better yet, but we trying to show people in a different mannerism, like, man, I'm still here. Ain't a gang of hickeys on my head. I ain't got no gang of gunshot wounds, and I've been relevant in the street all my life. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I grew up with a mother and a father. My father died when I was 13. My mother's from Jackson, Mississippi, graduated from college, was an only child. Only thing she knew is what my father told her. And we grew up in a whole nother dispensation. I was fascinated with pimps and hustlers. And so my mother go to sleep at 8:30, 9:30. We was out the window going reveling in the city, right? We grew up, like Clarence Darrow said it, he was interviewing some convicts in Cook County Jail in Chicago. And he says that you're a victim of the rhetoric of no. And it's not what you do. You just don't go to the norm, what America or what somebody tells you to do. You know what I'm saying? But since you don't understand it, and you're a product of the rhetoric of no. We're the products of the rhetoric of no. Whatever they said was illegal, we made it like it was survival, you know? So okay. You play by the rules, you look at the rules. Yeah, our family grew up, get a good job, get you a family. But then I'm watching the Untouchables. I'm watching James Cagney. I'm watching these gangster movies where these white folks with suits. But that's just a show. You don't understand, at the end of it, ain't no commercial in real life. Right. We can do stuff and this and that. When you lay a dead body down, it ain't no Camel Soup commercial coming on and saving you. You got to go, and it just don't stop at the scene of the crime. Because somebody loved that person that ain't no longer there. And so it don't get better when you go to prison. It get worse. You got to keep on doing what you're doing in order to survive. Swim or sink. But everybody don't know that. You know what I'm saying? It's easy to say something. So we get to this little Cat Williams looking dude, Charleston White. And he professes. He's from Dallas, Texas. They didn't even recognize blacks in Dallas, Texas until Crips and Bloods came. If you look at the history of Dallas, Texas, when they speak of gangs from the 70s on, it's MS-13 was a Mexican gang from California. TS, Texas Syndicate Mexicans, the Aryan Brotherhood, the Skinheads. They have no mention, them niggas was in check right there in Dallas, Texas. 1983, 82, 83, don't know the exact date. This guy by the name of Freeway Rick, he took the Hoovers out there. And they set up posts selling crack cocaine. And when he set it up dealing with the MS-13s, Mexicans from California. And they were serving dopes to blacks in their projects, Rupert projects, Gang of Little projects. Blacks still wasn't running nothing. 83, 84, 85, a gang of other gangs started coming up there and putting them dudes on, and they didn't have to get it from Mexicans no more. So they put them on. So here we got this little Jimmy the Cricket looking guy. He learned about gangbanging in 1991. Nobody even gangbanged in 91. These dudes had start gangbanging from Colors, and he said he read Monster Cody's book. Dude, he got in trouble with some stuff, and what he says now, about how he tells people like, oh, well, people called me a snitch and this and this and that. Nobody pulled no paperwork. It's impossible to put paperwork on him because at 21, his record was sealed. So your record sealed, you can't pull it. But you know what he didn't know? The police report ain't sealed. We from Cali, man. We know law. They say more than one way to skin a cat. So little rat-looking nigga, I know everything that happened with you. Everything. All that you said, how you was given this and this, they gave him 7 years. He went to juvenile detention. He was being pressured in juvenile detention. He ain't but 4'11" now. So you think how he was at 14. Well, I did stuff. No, you didn't do it because you wanted to do it. Them Crips pressured you to do it. And when he went to a juvenile court and they was talking about sending him to the penitentiary, the staff at where he was told him, man, if they send him there, he gonna be a real homosexual or they gonna kill him. Give us one more chance. So now you're 17, you done been beat up and been pressured for 3 or 4 years. Now you done finally got the game. Now you stay there till you're 21, you come out, now you this monster Crip. So here you are, you a Crip. He claims he was a 60 Crip. You know anything about gangbanging?
Yeah.
Okay, do you know 60 Crips and 8 Trey Gangsters Crips been fighting for 30 years?
Yeah, yes, I'm familiar with that.
Okay, so would you imagine a 60 Crip would go to St. Andrews Park and look for Melvin Farmer to find the 8 Trey and tell him he a 60 Crip?
Oh, okay, nah.
How do that sound?
Is that what he's saying?
That's what he did. Melvin Farmer introduced him to Cappuccino and introduced him to Hugh. He didn't know nobody in the 60s. He met Melvin Farmer on the internet and came out here and Melvin embraced him and took him over to all the 60s. And then allowed him to come to Nipsey Hussle. He hadn't been in California before that. Talking about I was on a journey. You was lost and turned out. And now you start barking. And you get into it and you come tell people, fuck a character. You're a character. Everything you say is a lie and you know it. He got a gun, he's never used it. He was involved in a murder, he was in the back seat. He didn't know the people was dead until he got to the police station. He's never pulled a trigger. In his youth authority, he ain't got a stabbing. I don't even think he want to fight. But we can get out here and we can bark on who we are and what we do. Everything I done was intentional. I caught a murder robbery, went to youth authority for the robbery, got in youth authority, got involved in a riot, laid them down in a riot. I'm the first person to leave California Youth Authority, YTS, and went straight to San Quentin. I didn't go to Soledad first, didn't go to Tracy first, went straight to the adjustment center. And I didn't lock up. I did all my time.